The market capitalization of the coin is used to summarize all that is taught in this video. I would also like to remind you to give my channel a like and subscribe to it so that you can stay up to date on future XRP news, as well as other cryptocurrency news in general. Take a look at this now, shall we? SEC and Ripple, both Ripple and the Securities and Exchange Commission, are getting closer and closer to resolving their fight. Aim, the closing phases of a historic war, you having been struck with a fine of $125 million, and Ripple itself. Since the end of the year 2020, this significant procedure has been ongoing and it has had a significant influence on all alternative cryptocurrencies. On the other hand, would it be accurate to say that the matter has been settled after all? There is still an appeal process that is scheduled to take place in the near future, so the answer is not quite there. This is the current status with reference to the Ripple scenario. SEC stands for the Securities and Exchange Commission, as well as securities issued by unregistered investment contractors. When earlier verdicts in other situations, such as the one involving eToro, are taken into consideration, it is important to note that no asset has been recognized as a non-security, with the exception of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin CAC. As a consequence of the litigation that began at the end of the year 2020, numerous exchanges in the United States quickly delisted XRP coin, which led to a 50% decrease in the price of the cryptocurrency. The United States Securities and Exchange Commission and Ripple are currently involved in a legal fight that is getting closer and closer to reaching a point where it can be considered resolved. Since the cryptocurrency market first opened its doors for business in the latter half of the year 2020, this litigation has had a significant impact on the market as a whole. Despite the fact that Ripple has paid a significant fine of $125 million, the problem has not yet been totally remedied. Moreover, there is still the possibility of an appeal being filed. What is the current state of the Ripple lawsuit, and what has happened thus far? The decisions that were made in cases that were relatively similar to this one led the Securities and Exchange Commission to conclude that Ripple's distribution of XRP constitutes an unregistered security offering. This conclusion was reached as a result of the similarity between the two cases. A non-security classification has not been assigned to any digital asset, with the exception of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin Cash. The price of XRP coin dropped by 50% as a direct consequence of the legal battle that was fought, which caused numerous exchanges located in the United States to immediately delete the cryptocurrency. It has been met with skepticism that the Securities and Exchange Commission has chosen to classify a wide variety of cryptocurrencies as securities. Despite this, companies such as Coinbase continue to include these assets inside their listings. How significant of an impact will this have on the popularity of the XRP coin? Despite the recent verdict, the Securities and Exchange Commission of the United States remains dissatisfied. It is predicted that they will engage in an appeal process that will continue until October 2024, after the verdict has been handed down. Ripple was needed to pay a fine of $125, however. The money has been set aside in advance in order to make preparations for the possibility of an appeal. Currently, the primary attention is on October 7th, which is a day that has the potential to result in more price volatility. This is because October 7th is the day that XRP currency is expected to be traded. Executives at Ripple believe that the current legal drama may finally come to an end if the Securities and Exchange Commission makes the decision not to appeal the decision. One of the most significant things that we have learned from the conflict between Ripple and the SEC is that the total amount of Ripple's punishment is $125 billion. And it is currently being held in escrow as a result of the delisting of XRP with the United States Securities and Exchange Commission. However, the price has decreased by 50%. Because there is a potential of appeal, there is more uncertainty regarding the future of XRP. The Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) is now conducting an inquiry into whether or not crypto assets should be classified as securities. Considering that the completion of these procedures is soon around the corner, Ripple is now in a position to move forward with its ambitions. It is possible that the market value of the cryptocurrency may improve as a consequence of the hope that the corporation has regarding the expansion of the usage for XRP coins. On the other hand, the ever-increasing supply that is already in circulation creates challenges when it comes to obtaining higher price targets, such as reaching the $3 threshold barrier. US as the legal dust is beginning to settle, Ripple is investigating the potential of forging a new course in the realm of cryptocurrencies, which is constantly evolving. As a consequence of this, the Securities and Exchange Commission's arbitrary designation of assets as securities was eliminated. This classification, which encompasses Solcoin as well as a huge number of other cryptocurrencies, has been largely rejected. Take, for instance, the fact that Coinbase continues to list assets that the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) most surely regards to be securities. Ripple is currently involved in a legal dispute with the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC), which stands out among the many legal fights that the SEC has undertaken as an organization. The resolution of other cases that are substantially similar, such as the one that pertains to Telegram, has been done in a far shorter amount of time. Ripple was subjected to a punishment of $125 million as a consequence of the judge's decision that institutional sales were constituted securities. This decision was noted in prior reviews. Even if this is the case, the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) continues to voice its dissatisfaction with the ruling. A comprehensive review of the appeals procedure, which is expected to be completed in October 2024, is expected to be carried out by this organization. Furthermore, Ripple has put the $125 million fine into escrow in order to prepare for the potential of an appeal being filed against the company. In conclusion, the Judge Torres concluded that the most significant date that is still to come is October 7th, and it would not be surprising to see an increase in the volatility of the price of XRP coin as the state gets closer to its arrival. Ripple officials anticipate that they will be granted relief by October 7th, which will be the date that the process will be considered to have been completed, in the event that the SEC does not launch an appeal. Nevertheless, the prospect of an appeal being lodged could lead to a brief reduction in the amount of time required for the process, as well as a significant extension over its entirety. With Hickles now coming to the realization that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, regardless of the outcome, it is anticipated that the value of this alternative cryptocurrency will improve in the future as a result of the expansion of use cases for XRP currencies and further measures. The ever-growing circulation supply, on the other hand, makes it unlikely that prices would ever reach $3. This is because the supply is constantly increasing. David Schwartz, the Chief Technology Officer of Ripple, made a contribution to a discussion on X by providing an explanation of the concept of immutability in blockchain technology. And this issue developed as a consequence of transactions that were lost on the XRP ledger, as well as blocks that were absent from the Ethereum blockchain. Both of these events contributed to the emergence of this topic. When it comes to blockchain technology, one of the most important characteristics is the immutability of the blockchain. This refers to the fact that data that is stored on the blockchain cannot be altered in any way. In response to the topic of whether or not it is possible to delete data that cannot be altered, they went into additional detail. An individual who is enthusiastic about cryptocurrencies and is a member of the Metal Man community asked a question about the mutability of blockchains. This question rapidly attracted the attention of the community, including xrp+ripple, who is a well-known blockchain explorer. In spite of the fact that the information that is kept on a blockchain is immutable and cannot be altered, it is still possible to remove it, as indicated by xrp+ripple. When the user saw this statement, it motivated them to investigate further, and they inquired about the possibility of destroying data that is immutable. This concern was addressed by David Schwartz, who indicated that even though the immutability of the data is kept, it is possible that the actual content may not always be able to be identified. For the purpose of clarification, he stated that if I were to present you with a cryptographically secure hash of some data, then that data would be immutable to you under any circumstances. The hash would no longer be applicable in the event that the data underwent any kind of alteration. On the other hand, this does not mean that anyone is aware of the information contained inside the data. To put it another way, even while the data on a blockchain cannot be altered without being compromised in terms of its cryptographic integrity, the original data may still be lost or deleted, which would render the hash useless. It should be noted that the material that has been supplied is not intended to serve as business advice. In the event that any investments are made on the basis of the information that is provided on this page, there is no responsibility for those investments. Prior to making any choice on investments, we strongly recommend performing independent research and talking with a professional who is educated in the field.